the Blackboard K-12 Live audience group, we're really excited to do a Q&A with some of our students and teachers that participated in one of our panel discussions here live in Vegas. So we're going to recreate some of those questions so that you can get a great experience as well.
My name is Neri Jinko, and I am going to school at Dr. Rita Hokagina's Senior High School, and I will be a senior.
And can you tell me a little bit about your online environment specifically and how you're working with other islands in the online capacity?
So at my school, I have 4 periods, and I have the opportunity to have a class period at school to do my online coursework. And our online courses are open to students from all 3 islands. So basically, I'm exposed to everyone.
Hello, I am Scout. I am in 6th grade, and I'm going to West.
And tell them you're in Lawrence.
I'm in Lawrence, Kansas.
Scout, we're really excited to have you here today. Can you tell us a little bit about your innovative classroom? I know that you spoke specifically about flipped learning and blended learning. Can you tell us a little bit about that environment?
For flipped learning, we do our projects at our house. Like, we learn everything in math at our house, and then we go back to school the next day and we review what we learned the night before. And for blended learning, we have a whole bunch of technology. We have Asus laptops, TVs that are turned into computers, and we can bring in our own devices too.
And how would you say that your teachers are personalizing learning for you? So how are they making the experience very, very personal to you so that you're getting the best educational experience possible?
My teacher used Blackboard, and she put everything on Blackboard, and she put certain things for different people. And like for me, I finished math early because I could work ahead, and she put different extension projects on Blackboard for me to use.
My name is Brandon. I go to Quail Run, and I'm in grade 3 in Lawrence.
Can you tell me a little bit about your experience with Blackboard? What is on Blackboard? What do you use? What are you learning? What kinds of things are on Blackboard for you to learn in the class?
Well, Mrs. Barr puts a lot of videos, websites, and games and stuff to help us learn. It's pretty cool.
And so when you're looking at those videos and games and websites, what is your favorite device to be doing that on in the classroom?
I like using it on the collaboration stations, which they're flat screens, and because they have plenty of room to work in, and you can actually see what you're working in.
In the collaboration stations, can you explain for our online audience what those look like? Are they circular? Do you have a lot of computers lined up? What does the classroom setup look like?
Well, the collaboration stations, it's a semicircle with the flat screen TV on it. It's linked to internet, so you can do anything that you can do on the Asuses.
And if you could have the ultimate school, like where you just were so excited to go to school every day, what would it look like for you?
It would look like a blended classroom like 2nd grade with an awesome teacher like Mrs. Barr, all blended all day.
My name is Anna Parnell. I'm going into 8th grade at South Middle School in Lawrence, Kansas.
Thanks so much for being here, Anna. Tell us a little bit about your innovative classroom experience that you've had so far. What does blended learning look like for you?
We used a lot of videos on Blackboard that my teacher put in for us to use, and we would basically watch the video. We could watch it as many times as we needed, and then we could apply it to the novel that we were reading, And then if we got done with all those activities, we could go into the folder in Blackboard, and it would have application, like after you've done all that enrichment activities.
And if you could build the ultimate school, what would your ultimate school look like?
Definitely blended learning using the computers and stuff. And I would have round tables in the classrooms like I had last year. Those were really fun.
Can you expand a little bit about the round table setting? What is it about the round tables that you specifically liked that's different than your other classrooms?
I really like how it feels like you're working as a team, even though you might not always be working in a group. It's not like my space, this is all mine.
My name is Stacy McGowan, and I am a special education teacher with the Pennsylvania Virtual Charter School.
Can you tell us more about the scope of your classroom specifically and how that's a unique teaching environment and what your experience has been in that environment?
Sure. I love to talk about my classroom. So I am a life skills support teacher. So life skills support students have cognitive delays. They're children of a wide range of abilities and disabilities. They're students with Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, students that are hearing impaired and visually impaired and mobility impaired. They participate in a fully online classroom where, they are at home with their parent learning coach, and I am at my home teaching live through Blackboard Collaborate.
And if you were to encourage someone who is just beginning an online environment, what advice would you give to those teachers that have never embraced that kind of learning environment?
Be flexible. Don't ever say you can't, or don't ever think that a student or a parent can't. I have a family of 3 students that I work with. The mom's a non-reader. And, I just have seen one of those students in particular scored advanced this year on our state testing. I would have said before that it couldn't be done, and there are lots of people who told me that it couldn't be done, but I knew that I could do it and that we could do it together, and we did. So flexibility has been key. Also parent involvement has been key. You have to get the buy-in from the parent learning coaches.
My name is Shannon Conley-Kurjan, and I teach social studies at Medina High School, 9 through 12.
Can you tell our online audience here how you are blended learning to help students within your district?
Sure. We are using a blended flex rotation style classroom. I teach a project-based course using a mobile historical app. I've changed my classroom into a workspace so that students are actually doing the work of historians instead of just studying kind of dates and people and all of that stuff. That stuff goes on, but on the sideline.
And if you could provide any words of wisdom or advice to a teacher that has never had a blended learning environment, they're just starting their classroom in a blended capacity, what kind of advice would you give to those teachers?
Find a friend. I didn't do this alone. 2 teachers across the hall, one in English, language arts, and one in math, were blending their classrooms at the same time. As much as we probably all want to abandon Facebook, we have a long history in the chat on Facebook that has been invaluable. At 2 o'clock in the morning, we would find each other trying to solve problems in transitioning our traditional courses to blended, and we troubleshoot there all the time. So I really couldn't have done it without that support system. I also encourage administrative buy-in, and I think every single school district must have a tech administrator or some sort of tech coordinator that is interested in making this successful.